Hey there, everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice. Welcome to your alternative tabletop streaming channel where you get reviews and new product talk and game design, tabletop strategy, anecdotes, player profiles, history, news, tutorials, books, tops, baseball cards, and more. We're right about to continue with our inside pitch New York Yankees, 1976 New York Yankees replay. And the Yanks stand at 8-4. I think this is 12 games. I think they were at 9-3, I believe, or was it 10-2? And this is a game that's played April 30th. We're right about to start. It's going to be Paul Splittorff for the Royals, 11-8 with a 3.97. ERA against Jim Catfish Hunter, 17-15 with a 3.53 ERA. It's going to be Mickey Rivers leading it off. We are, of course, in Royal Stadium in Kansas City. Mickey Rivers will lead it off playing center field. Roy White in left. Batting second, batting third is Thurman Munson. The catcher batting cleanup is Chris Chambliss, who had 3 hits in yesterday's game, so he's picking it up a bit. He's the first baseman. Lou Piniella batting fifth at DH. Otto Velez batting sixth in right field. Batting seventh is Craig Nettles. The third baseman, batting eighth, is Willie Randolph, the second baseman, and Fred Stanley, the shortstop. Paul Splittorff on the mound, and we are right about to roll. Inside pitch, the red is the column, the white is the row, and then this is the additional modifier or die that gives you extra information. All right, let's go 5-4, and that's going to be a potential strikeout. Against a lefty, we're looking at a 7. At Royal Stadium, it's a -4, so that's going to be a 3. They don't strike out very much here, but we do roll the 3, and that's strike 3. So Rivers down on strikes. Roy White next. He's a switch hitter, batting righty. And that's 3-3. That's a potential home run. But no, not against a lefty. Against a righty, it's going to go on to Roy White's card. And that's a 2-5. That's a fly to right. Excuse me, left. 2 down. Pitch to Thurman Munson, the captain, the walrus. 6-2, and that's a potential walk against a lefty. We're looking at a 4 -1 is a 3. We roll a 13, so it's going to be off Munson's card. And that's a 2-4 off Munson's card, and that's line to center field. Right there is Amos Otis, makes the catch, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for Paul Splittorff. Jim Wolford, leading it off. He's a left fielder, followed by Amos Soto as a center fielder. George Brett in third hole. At third base, cleanup is John Mayberry, the first baseman. Batting fifth is Hal McRae, the DH. Batting sixth is Al Cowens, the right fielder. Batting seventh is Frank White, the second baseman. Freddie Patek, the shortstop. Batting eighth and batting ninth is Buck Martinez. On the mound, Jim Catfish Hunter for the Yankees. And that's a 6-1. That's a potential strikeout against a righty. You're looking at a 4. We roll an 8 and roll off Wolford's card. And that's a 5-4. That's a fly to left. 1 down. Amos Soto's next. 5-6, and against a righty, it's going to be a plus K. So that you tack on another. It's going to be a 19. We roll a 4. Strike 3. Blows one by. Amos Otis. 1-3. That's an error on a potential ground ball or potential error on a ground ball. Let's see what happens. And that's going to be 6-2, and that's going to be a range play. A range play versus a right-hander goes all the way up to 15. We roll an 8, and that's going to be falls in there. And George Brett into second base with a 2-out double. John Mayberry. And that's 6-6. That's blank. And that's a 4-5, and that's going to be popped up. Nettles under it on the left side. Puts it away, and that retires the side. Royals lead 1, score none. Here come the Yankees. Chris Chambliss leading it off. That's Snake Eyes. Potential error on a grounder. See if it is a grounder. 2-1. Not a grounder, it's a line out. Not a grounder. Lou Piniella. 2-4, that's a blank. And that's a 4-6, and that is a range play against a lefty. That's a 6, and that's going to be driven in the gap. That's going to roll to the wall. So Piniella hustling around first into second base with a 1-out double. Sweet Lou Piniella. Next is Otto Velez. Velez is batting .222 on the season. He's got 2 hits and 9 at-bats. That's 6-3. That's a potential walk against a lefty. We're looking at a 24 minus 123, so that's automatic. So first and second one out, and it's Greg Nettles. Greg Nettles hit 32 home runs, got good power, 55, and that's going to be a potential strikeout. That's a 12 minus, it's an 8. We roll an 18, so it's going to be off Nettles. Oop, foul ball. That's going to be a 6-4, and that's going to be a star line. 6-4 is a star line 4, which is a ground ball to short, so this may be a double play. Let's just roll, see what happens. Oh. That's a 1. That's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. It's just there's no way it's less than that. It's already a 2 there. 6-4-3 double play. The Royals turn it, and we're out of the inning. Jim Hunter. Hunter was 17-15, so he had 32 decisions with a 3.53 ERA. He was the staff ace. 5-5, that's a blank. That's a 1-3, and that's going to be a ground ball by the second baseman into right field. So it's a single. Hal McRae, leadoff single. Next is Cowens. I'm going to try to get that lead, and we don't with the 19. So we roll that. Cowens, 1-3, and that's a potential error on a grounder. Oh, it's a foul ball. Potential error on a grounder, 1-3, and that's going to be a fly to center. 1 down, Frank White. 6-4 against White, a righty. That's going to be blank, so we're looking at White's card. 1-3, and that's going to be a star line 6, which is a fly to center. Rivers runs it down. 2 down. And it's Freddie Patek. 6-6, blank. And it's a 3-4, and that's going to be ground ball. Sharply hit at Fred Stanley. Across the diamond. And that retires the side. We go to the top of the third. Willie Randolph is leading it off against Paul Splittorff. Willie Randolph struggling a little bit, 194. 5-6, that's a range play, so this is a good chance for Willie to get a hit. And that's a 35, and that's going to be a ground ball, second base. So we're looking at a range second base, and I believe it's a 5 for White. He does have a range of 5, so I'm getting to learn these guys. And it's a 6. It's a base hit by White into right field. And Randolph's going to try to get a lead. We'll use that. It's a 6. Let's see what it is. And it's a 6. It is a 6, so he gets a lead. We're going to try to steal the base, and that's an 8. It's a 15 we're looking at. Now let me check Buck Martinez real quick. I don't think Buck has anything on his card. He does not, so that's a stolen base for. So it's a single stolen base for Willie Randolph. And next is Fred Stanley with a runner, nobody out, runner on second base. That's a 3-5, and that's a range play for Stanley. A 2-3, that's a range play shortstop. See what happens. That's a 3. He's going to make it. Now let's see if it's a double play. Let's see if White gets any points, any pivot points. Nope, neither of these guys get pivot points. So we're looking at a 2-0-3 for a double play. We're going to have to roll here. Let's see, 3 or less for a double play, and we get a 4. So it's not going to be a double play. It's going to be a fielder's choice. Oh, wait. There's no double plays, runner on second. Damn. All right, so it's 6-3, and let's roll to see if he moves to third. And his Willie Randolph's speed is 3. We rolled a 3, so he makes it to third. So 1 out, runner on third. And it's Mickey Rivers, 1-5. That's a potential walk against a lefty. And we're looking at a 2. We roll a 10, so we're going to roll off Rivers' card. That's a 5-3, and that's going to be line base hit to right. Rivers is on with a single, RBI single for Mick the Quick. And we're using the 19, so he does not get the lead. Roy White. 4-2, question mark. Double question mark, and we roll a 12. So that's going to take us to Roy White's card, 6-5, and that's going to be a ball that's driven down the line into the left field corner. After it is Wolford, and a D. No, it's driven into the right field corner. Excuse me, goes the opposite way with it, and that's Cowens chasing it down. And with a runner at first, let's see a double to right. Let's see what that's going to look like. With Rivers on at first, he's a 5 base running speed. So let's see if we can go any higher than the. So it's a double to right, which is a -1. That makes it a 4. Let's see Cowens in right field. Cowens is a +1, so back up to a 5. All right, let's see what happens. We're rolling 2d6 on the throw chart, and that's a run scores. RBI double for Roy White. And now it's Thurman Munson, so the score is 2-0 Yanks. And that's a 3-2. That's a range play in the ballpark. And we're looking at a 1-5, and that's a range play 9. 9 is Cowens. We just looked at Cowens. Cowens is a 5 right fielder, and he runs it down. Nice catch by Al Cowens. So it's going to be fly ball to right. And back to second is Roy White. So Munson hit it on the screws, but right at the right fielder, relatively speaking. Chris Chambliss, 6-2. That's a potential walk, and we're looking at a 5 -1 is a 4. We roll a 12, so we're going to roll on Chambliss. 1-6, and that's going to be line base hit to right field. And with 2 outs, we're looking at potentially scoring another run. Let's see what happens. Who's that? Roy White is a 4. With 2 outs, that's a 5. And that's a hit to right field. Another +1. That's a 6. There's nothing from Cowan, so we're looking at rolling here. Roll in, and that's a RBI single, a 2-out RBI single for Chris Chambliss. And it's a 3-0 Yankee lead. Yankees are looking to improve their record to 9-4. With a win here tonight, they would do that. Just 1 game off the actual mark, I believe. And that's Lou Piniella, 1-6, and that's a potential throwing error. Let's see what happens. 1-5, and that's going to be line base hit to center. And Chambliss is a 3. Let's see what happens. Base hit to center, first to third, so -1. So Chambliss is going to hold up at second base. There's no points in center field. Amos Otis. Let's see what Amos Otis has for us in center field. Oh, he's a +2, so that's a 4. 2 outs, that's a 5. So -1. So back to a 4. So we're going to try to move to third base. Chambliss, and he makes it to third. First and third now. Otto Velez. And that's going to be a 4-6, and that's going to be a potential error. Potential error. And that's a 5-6. And that could be an error and it's not going to be. We roll at 18. So that's Wolford. Fly ball. Settles under it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. But not before the Yanks pick up 3 runs on, let's see how many hits on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. They lead it by a score of 3-0 going into the bottom of the third. Jim Catfish Hunter. 4-5 against a righty. That's going to be a potential strikeout. We're looking at 13 -3. That's a 9. We roll an 11. So Buck Martinez is going to get another chance, and that's going to be ground ball to short. Stanley up with it, throws him out. Next is Jim Wolford, 4-2, and that's going to be a potential K against Wolford. That's a 1. That's strike 3. That's Hunter's first K of the game. And that's a 3-2, question mark. We roll a 9. And against a righty, it's going to be in the star line. We're going to roll a 2, and that's a fly to center. Mick the Quick gets to it quickly, and that retires the side. So Hunter's looking good for the Yanks. Hey there, Rick. How are you, brother? Oh, I screwed up. Short right. Yeah, I see those plays to short right. A short right? Oh, right. Okay. So because it was by the second baseman, was it S4 or something like that? Is that what that was? I think it was like an S4. That's what you mean by short right? Slowly but surely, man. I promised myself I can't take any breaks. I got to play this for like a month straight. And then I'll get really, really good at it. Oh well, I don't remember the play. It was an S6 maybe, or I don't know what it was. What was it? Sure. I don't know. All right, I'll try to be more careful. Let's see, Greg Nettles. Greg Nettles is hit into a grounder and grounded into double play earlier on. Let's say blank on Splittorf's card. So it's a 4-6, and that's line base hit right field. So Nettles singles. Nettles is another one who's struggling, batting 130. That won't hurt to get a hit there. Willie Randolph. We're only 10 games into the season, so this is, I believe, this is the 13th game of the season. Willie Randolph. That's a 4-2, and that's going to be question mark, double question mark, and that's going to be against a righty. That's going to be a S1, so single up the middle, I guess it would be. And a single up to middle, let's see if it's automatic here. S1 would be a 4 or less, and Greg Nettles is a 2, so he's going to stop at second base. So first and second. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah. You're talking about when Randolph singled and then stole second. That's what you're talking about. And then I thought it was a DP, and then I moved him to short. I moved him to third, and you're saying he shouldn't have gone to third on that grounder. Well, I rolled under his. I thought that's what it was. I was listening to ID Gesture today, and I just kind of winged it a little bit there. I didn't bother to look, but I rolled under his base running. That's not how you go to third, is it? Is it like? Let me see. I'm learning this chart though. Ground outs on second. Runner advances on hit. Okay, runner advances on balls hit to shortstop or pitcher if BR of runner beats 1d6 roll. See, that's what I was going by. But it's okay, man. Whatever I did, I screwed up. Because that's what I was going. That's what I was trying to do. So I rolled, and it was a 3, and his base running was a 4. So that's why I went to short. But you're saying now that's wrong. Let's see. It was under the BR. Okay, so it's under the BR. That's what it says here. Runner advance on balls hit to shortstop or pitcher if BR of runner. Oh, beats. Right. It beats the roll. Yeah. It didn't beat the roll? I thought it beat the roll. In other words, the roll's got to be below, and that's what I thought it did. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I thought I rolled a 3, and Randolph is a 4 speed. Oh, no, Randolph is a 3. No, and it was a 3. Does it have to beat? It can't be the same? Let's see. Oh, it says beats, not equal to. Okay, all right, that's where I screwed up. No, you're right. I did screw up because it matched his speed, and I thought that was still good enough. All right, so that's life. I'll make a mistake on the Royals in the Royals' favor. All right, so there's nobody out. Now we're looking at a situation here because Splittorf, this is the second time around, and he's struggling big time. I mean, he's allowed 8 hits so far. So Yankees are racking up hits against Paul Splittorf, and he's walked 1 as well. So now we got runners on first and second and Stanley. Now, I don't know how to bunt, but I need to try to bunt to learn it. Bunting 5. So I guess since you're here, it says bunt 5, regular player. I imagine that's what it means. On a regular player who is a 5 bunter, it's a 16 to 19. Let's see, bunting possible. Runner on first, 0 to 1 out. Okay, I got that. So 6 to 19, he attempts to bunt maybe. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means, and I need to learn how to bunt. Let me see. What is their infield? The infield is middle is halfway. Stanley, you know what? They're going to bring the corners in because Stanley's bunting. They know Stanley's bunting. Okay, we roll on the bunt chart. So 6 to 19. We roll a 13. So I guess there's no bunt. Is that what that means? Is that how that works? Yeah, I used his bunt rating. It was a 5. Hey, Benny Blades, how are you, brother? Um, I used his bunt rating, which was a 5. It was equivalent to 16 to 19. Trying to get Fred Stanley to bunt with runners on first and second here. So it was a 16 to 19. I rolled a 13. So does that mean there's no bunt and I just kind of roll like I would for any other out? Is that what I do now? Is that what that means? Okay, so he didn't get a chance to bunt. I mean, he squared whatever. It was a high pitch, and then they took the sign off. Okay, I got it. All right, 5-1. That's a potential K against a lefty. That's going to be a 4. We roll a 6. So we're going to roll off Stanley. And it's a 2-3, and that's exactly what we didn't want. A ground ball to the shortstop. Exactly what we were trying to avoid. Ground ball to the shortstop. I'm going to roll 1 for a double play. That's a 2. Stanley's a 2. And Stanley's a 2, and that's going to be it, a 2. And that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Yep. That's exactly what we were trying to avoid by bunting there. Yeah, I know. That's true in life as well there, Rick. I try to avoid a lot of bad stuff in life, but it still happens anyway. Like defender +1 for halfway. Yeah, I gave him that. I gave him that. Oh, I was trying to. Yeah. I didn't give him that, but he didn't need it. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I was thinking I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting something. It was that +1 for halfway. All right, so now you got runner on third. Greg Mills is on third, and you have Mickey Rivers, who's single in his last at bat. Mick the Quick is batting .264 against Paul Splittorff, who's having a real tough time of it. And that's going to, oh, wait a second. Let's redo all that. Get rid of the green. All right. 2-5, and that's going to be ballpark. I love that. Love the ballparks. 5-4, and that's going to be a ball that's pulled down the line into the right field corner, and that's going to be one hop off the wall. And scoring easily is Nettles, and Mick the Quick is in there with a 2-out RBI double. So the Yanks continue to pound Paul Splittorff, and that's going to be it for Paul Splittorff. Out comes Whitey Herzog, and he's visibly miffed, not happy with the performance of Paul Splittorff. And it looks like it's going to be Doug Bird. And Doug Bird pitched, I believe, pitched in this game, pitched about 5 innings in this game. This is the era when relief pitchers, went the rest of the game. They came in, they didn't go 1 inning. They went the rest of the game, particularly in the American League. Hey, I want to show you a little something I got today. Nobody knows about it. If anybody's keeping up with my 1969 payoff pitch Mets replay, ta-da, there he is. Look at that. Look at the youthful Tom Seaver. Is that amazing? Is that gorgeous or what? This includes the 69 season because this is the 1970 card. 1970 card. Tom Seaver. Gorgeous. I can't wait to pull him out when he goes up against, in those big games. Tom Seaver, 1970 card. That's what they looked like back then. Clean-cut kid. Wouldn't hurt a fly. Look at that. The good old days, man. That's when we were kids. When the world made sense. All right. Roy White. Roy White. Mick the Quick at second base. Doug Bird now. Let's get him in there. New pitcher, Doug Bird, top of the 4th. The Yanks are up 4-0. And that's a 4-6, and that's going to be a potential. Nope, it's going to be a blank. We're going to roll off White's card, see what happens. And that's a 6-5, and that's going to be a bloop. And that's going to drop in there. And that's going to be an RBI double. So White doubles back-to-back 2 baggers by White and Mick the Quick. And that's a 5-0 lead for the Yanks. So Yanks offense came to hit today. They got 10 hits so far in 4 innings. Next is Thurman Munson. That's a 3-3. That's a potential strikeout against a righty. It's going to be a 1. We roll a 15. So it's going to be off. Oh, it's going to be off Munson. We're re-rolling that. That's a foul ball. Oh, another foul ball. And that's going to be a 5-1. That's going to be line and caught by the second baseman. So it's going to be a Z. And that retires the side. But the Yanks pick up 2 more runs. They lead it 5-0. So I'm a happy camper here with the Yanks really playing the way they are. I've been struggling to get base hits, but the Yanks have 10 hits right now. And we're only in the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-4, and that's going to be a potential strikeout. It's going to be a 1. We roll at 20. So George Brett's card. 6-5, and that's going to be fly to left. Roy White settles under it. 1 down. Next is John Mayberry. 5-4 is going to be a blank. And a 1-5, and that's going to be a fly to right. Otto Velez drifts towards the line, makes the catch, and it's Hal McRae, 3-5, and that's going to be ballpark. Royal Stadium, 3-4, and that's going to be ground ball to short. Stanley, easy hop, throws him out. 3 up, 3 down. Jim Catfish Hunter. It's going to be Chris Chambliss leading it off. He's 1 for 2. Chris Chambliss has got his batting average up to 191. He was floating around 100 for a while there. 6-6, and that's a blank. So we're looking at Chris Chambliss's card, and that's a 4-5, and that's going to be against a righty. That's going to be a ground ball to first. 1 out. Lou Piniella. Lou Pinella's 2 for 2. Lou Pinella's batting .417 on the season. 2-6. That's a potential home run. That's a potential home run for Piniella against a righty. That's going to be a 5. We roll an 11, so that's not going to do it. Piniella still has a chance to get a base hit. Fouls 1 off. And that's a 3-2, and that's a grounder to third. George Brett fires to first. Gets Piniella easily, and with 2 outs, it's Otto Velez. That's a potential home run against a righty. 1-8, we roll a 9, so that's not going to do it. So we're going to roll off Velez. And that's a 2-2, and that's going to be a ball that's pulled down the line into the opposite field, taken the opposite way, and that's going to be 1 hop off the wall. So Velez with a 2-out double. That's the Yankees' 11th hit of the game. Craig Nettles next. 3-4, that's a blank. Whoop, that's a foul ball. We're looking at Nettles' card. 5-6, and that's going to be a potential range play against a righty. Goes all the way up to 15. We roll a 7, and that's going to dunk in there, and that's going to bounce high. And Nettles is going to try for 2 and the throw, and he is safe. RBI double for Nettles. 2-out double, and that's a 6-0 ball game. Willie Randolph is next. Randolph is 2 for 2. He's got his batting average up to 237. Batted 267 on the season. That's a 5-3, and that's going to be a potential strikeout versus a righty. We're looking at a 3. We roll a 4, so that won't do it. It's going to roll off of Randolph's card. 65, and that's going to be a fly ball to right. Right there is Cowens. That retires the side. But the Yanks pick up another run. They lead at 6-0. Jim Catfish Hunter in the bottom of the 5th against Al Cowens. That's a range play. That's a 33. That's going to be a range left field. We're going to roll for that. Roy White's a 4, and that's going to drop in there. Let's roll another one. See, it's going to be a single. So Roy let it drop and then cut it off quickly and got it in to keep Cowens to a single. Frank White. And that was 3rd hit for the Royals. That's a 1-3. 1-3 is going to be a potential error on a grounder. And that's a 4-5. And that's a ground ball to third. No, the error rating 8. Let's see. Nettles, very good at third base, and that is going to be falls right on the 8. It is going to be an error where the runner on first, and that's going to be. I'll look at the chart. Where's the chart? I got these charts laminated today, so I'm real impressed with myself. It's a failed error. Oh, it's a grounder error though. He boots the ball, so it's an E5. Runner moves up one base, so Greg Nettles makes an error. All right, let's see. Freddie Patek. First and second, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th. Freddie Patek. He's a 5 bunter. Let's see if we're down by 6-0. So I don't think we're going to bunt here. We're going to just too late in the game to start bunting at this point. That's a 2-1. That's going to be a tired single. He is not tired. So it's a 2-2, and that's going to be popped up. Shortstop Stanley makes the catch. Buck Martinez. 2-1, again, a tired single. Not going to happen. And it's going to be a 6-4, and that's going to be a double. It's going to pull one down the line, and that's going to roll to the wall. That's going to be at least one run with one out. You know what? And down by 6, we're going to just make it one run. Second and third. One out. 6-1. Jim Wolford. Oh, foul ball. It's a souvenir for a lucky fan. That's going to be a 2-6. Well, I got something else going on. Oh, yeah, I got picked up a 76 set. Yes, I picked up a 76 set. That's coming. So you guys got to see that. That's going to be beautiful. All right, so Jim Wolford, 2-6. 2-6, and that's going to be a potential strikeout. We need this strikeout big here. It's a -4, so it's a 4 against a righty. And we roll a 2. Strike 3. Jim Wolford down swinging. Holy smokes. Jim Hunter reached back and brought it. 2 outs now. Second and third. 6-1 Yankees. And it's Amos Otis. 1-3. That's a potential error on a grounder. Don't know what's going to happen here. That's a ground ball to the first baseman. Chris Chambliss, we roll a 3. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And it's a 4, so it is going to be an error on Chambliss. And we'll check again. Failed G. Failed G on the first baseman. Boots ball one base. So that's 2 errors in this inning on the Yankees. One by Nettles and now one by Chris Chambliss. And I had to roll super low for that to happen. But that now it's 6-2, and it's George Brett. This is the guy you don't want up. You got runners on first and third now with George Brett. And Amos Otis is going to try to get that lead. And that's a 7. Let's see what that looks like. It's a 4 plus 1 is a 5. So he does not get the lead. So here's George Brett. That's a 1-3, and that's another potential error on a grounder. 1-3, and that's a fly ball to center. Mick the Quick is there, and he puts it away, and that retires the side. Wow, that was exciting. Yanks couldn't get out of that inning. They kept on blowing it, making these errors, and it was getting hairy, very hairy. Fred Stanley, Doug Bird, 2-1. That's a blank. And that's a 5-5, and that's a fly to left, 1 out. Now, the relief pitcher's a 9. Let's see how many he's got. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is his 9th batter, Mickey Rivers. And that's a 5-2. That's going to be a tired single. Not yet. Almost there. 1-2, and that's going to be a single by third baseman. Make the Quick, and we're going to try to get a lead. 19 does not work. Now he's fatigued now. 3-6, that's a K. A K against a righty is going to be a 3. We roll a 9, so we're rolling Roy White 1-3, and that's going to be a single by second base. And with 1 out, a single by second base. Let's see. As 4, that's a 3. So he's got to be better than 3. And Rivers is better than 3, so he's going to go to third base. And I believe I played that right. Thurman Munson runners on first and third. All right, so we're going to go to the bullpen. We're going to go to Marty Patton. Marty Patton is coming in. Let's see. What are they doing? Breaking the new gloves in the middle of the game. All right. So White singles, Rivers the third. There's 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Thurman Munson's coming up, and the Royals are going to call on Marty Patton. Patton was 8-14 with a 2.49 ERA, 5 saves. So he was both a starter and a reliever. Started 27 games, relieved in 10. No, that's not it. Relieved in 29. Started 15 and relieved in 29. I just saw that. I'm learning these. Still learning these cards. Thurman Munson. First and third. Let's go. 3-6. 3-6, and that's going to be against a righty, that's going to be a star line. Star line out. And that's a 4. That's a grounder to second. And we're looking at a +1. That's a 3 plus halfway. That's a 4. And we're going to roll a weird one. Let's get a weird color here. Let's get a wood dye. A wood dye. And that was double play. Well, what kind of double play? A 3-6. It was a 4-6-3 double play. And that's all she wrote for the Yanks in this inning. Had something going, but double plays, pitcher's best friend. So the Royals turn it, get out of trouble for Marty Patton. Great job. Came in, 1 pitch, 2 outs. And Hunter is facing John Mayberry. Mayberry played in 161 games, batted .232, hit 13 home runs. So not a big power hitter just yet. That's going to be a 6-3. That's a potential strikeout. That's going to be a 6 strikeout. That's strike 3 on Mayberry. Blows one by. Fastball. The high cheese, gave him a grilled cheese sandwich in the face almost. Chin music. 3-4. And that's a strikeout. Potentially. We roll a 12. That's not going to do it. And that's a 4-2. And that's going to be a ground ball to third to Nettles. Nettles up with it. Oh, darn it. Did the wrong thing. Let's clean that up. Two down. And Al Cowens. And that's a 4-3. That's a potential walk. It's a 5 - 1. There's a 4. It's a 2. Ball 4. Cowens walks. He's not at first. 6-2 Yankees. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Playing inside pitch, 1-5. And that's a range play. Range play 44. And that's going to be 8. An 8, that's where we want it, F8, because Rivers is a 5, and we roll a 5. And he runs it down, so it's a ball driven in the gap. And Mick the Quick puts on the Jets, tracks it down. Great play, Mickey Rivers. He's been doing that for us the whole season. Mick the Quick and Willie Randolph, 2 outstanding defenders, as well as Chambliss and Nettles a 5 at third base, Randolph a 5 at second base, Mickey Rivers a 5 in center field, Roy White a 4 in left field. All right, Chris Chambliss leading it off for the Yanks. Chris Chambliss is 1 for 3 on the day, batting 188. Top of the 7th. That's a 5-1. That's a potential walk against a righty. And that's going to be a 4. We roll a 6. So we're going to roll off Chambliss's card, see what happens. 1-5, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. Frank White throws him out. Lou Piniella. Sweet Lou Piniella. That's a potential hit by pitch +1. Hit by pitch is 4. We roll at 12. Won't do it. We'll look off of Pinella's card. 1-5, and that's line base hit center field. And Amos Otis plays it on a hop. And it's Otto Velez. Otto Velez 1 for 2, walked and doubled. That's a 2-6, and that's going to be blank. Going to roll off Velez, see what happens. 6-5, and that's going to be a question mark center field. And we rolled a 3, and that's going to be line base hit. Drops in front of Otis. I don't remember if that was a range. Do not remember if that was a range. Drops in front of Otis. Let's see what happens. And drops in there. And is it going to go in for a double? Let's see. No, single. Okay, drops in for a single. I played that all wrong because I couldn't remember if I had rolled an R. Couldn't remember. That's what happens if you're not watching. There's a lot of stuff going on these cards and all the interactions. So you have to really focus on what you're doing. So that's going to be a single. We're just moving the runner up 1 here to try to get our sense of direction. Craig Nettles first and second. That's a 2-1. That's a potential strikeout against a righty. So that's going to be a 9. We roll a 17. We're rolling off Nettles' card. And that's a 6-5, and that's going to be a fly ball deep right field. And back goes Cowens to the track and makes the catch. Nobody's tagging here. Everybody's holding. So Nettles gave it a ride, but got under it a little bit. And with 2 outs, it's Willie Randolph. And that's a 3-6, and that's going to be double star against, and that's going to be a fly to left. Wolford. And that retires a side. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Jim Catfish Hunter's still in there. He's going to be at 27, so he can go 34. So he can go a long way, Jim Catfish Hunter. That's a 5-4, and that's going to be a potential strikeout versus a righty. So plus, so we're looking at a K minus 4 is a 6 plus a 16. 16, we roll 9. Strike 3. Blows one by. Freddie Patek. Next is Buck Martinez, 1-2, and that's a blank. And that's a 1-4, and that's going to be a range play against a right-hander. And we rolled a 2. That's going to be line base hit. Base hit single. So 4-1. That's going to be wild. And we're looking at 18. That's not going to do it. Going to roll on Wolford's card now. 1-2, and that's going to be a fly to left. 2 down. Amos Otis. Bottom of the 7th. 6-2 Yanks. 1976. 3-4. Jim Catfish Hunter on the mound. 3-4, and that's going to be a strikeout. Potential strikeout. We're looking at a 13 minus the 4 for the Royal Stadium. That's a 9. A 9, we roll an 18. That won't do it. We're rolling off of Otis's card. 6-2, and that again is another range play. And that's going to be a 19, and that's a ball that's caught in left field by White, who runs it down into the corner. Great play, Roy White. Roy White's been with the Yanks for a while, since the 60s. All right, we're in the top of the 8th inning. Let's look and see. Patton can go 6, and we've already gone 6, so that's going to be it for Patton. And who's coming up? A righty, but then we got a lefty. You know what? We're going to bring in Ray Sadecki. Sadecki's coming in. New pitcher. Ray Sadecki against Fred Stanley. Fred Stanley is 0 for 3. He's batting .214 for the season. That's a 4-1. That's going to be ballpark. Just straight old ballpark. 4-6. And that's going to be a single, and he's going to try for second. So he's a 2. That's to right field. Our right fielder, Cowens, is a 1. So that's a 3. So let's roll. So that's a 2. So he makes it to second. So it's going to be a double, a leadoff double for Fred Stanley. Make the quick. And that's a 2-1. That's a potential strikeout versus a lefty. That's going to be a 3. Going to roll off Rivers. And that's going to be a 2-5. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. Ground ball to short. And going to roll. See if he goes. Oh, and he does go to third. That's funny. All right. So it's a ground ball to short. And we rolled under his base running. His base running rating. So he's going to hustle over to third base. It doesn't happen very often. Happens about 40% of the time that the runner at second will make it to third on a ground to short. They only make it to third on a ground to third 20% of the time. But the first and second, it's about 90% of the time. Roy White. That's going to be a 4-6, and that's going to be a range play off White's card, and that's a 3-5, and that's going to be a ball that may be caught. Let's see what happens here in right field to Cowens. That's a 4, and I believe Cowens catches up to it. Cowens is a 5 right fielder, so he does catch up to it. So it's an F. It's an out fly ball to the right fielder. I believe I played that correctly. Hey there, who's there? ID Jester in the house. All right. I was listening to his the GOAT games. I call them that. That's what I call them, the GOAT games. It's like goats on the baseball field. Thurman Munson, Ray Sadecki, 2 outs. You got Fred Stanley. Oh, wait, I could get a potential sacrifice fly. Hold on. Reverse. Let's rewind. So that was Roy White hitting that fly to right. He's a sacrifice fly 2. So let's roll a die here. And it's not, now I can roll against the outfielder's arm. I can roll against the outfielder's arm, which is a +1, I believe. It's a +1, and Fred Stanley's speed, which is a 2, so that's a 3. All right, let's try to do that. And that's a 6, so I think he's thrown out at the plate, right, on that? Or are we on the throw chart? I believe we're on the throw chart. So let's throw another one. So if we're on the throw chart here, because it's a sacrifice fly, let's double check that. I know ID Jester was doing that today. So base running rating, if 1d6 less than or equal to adjusted base runner, advance to third, otherwise, wait, run around third. Okay. Reroll 1d6 on throw chart. Okay, on throw chart. There you go. Okay, so then we're going to go to the 6th throw chart. 6th throw chart. And we rolled a 4. The second number is a 4. Lead runner thrown out. So he is thrown out 9-2. So it's really a double play. That's what happened. It was a double play. So let's go back and make that a double play. I'm using iScore here on the side. Don't tell anybody. We're going to make that an out. It's going to be a double play, fly ball tag double plays it's called, and it's going to be a 9-9-2. So Cowens makes a great throw right on the line. Nice tag by Buck Martinez. And out at the plate was Fred Stanley. Exciting game all around. The curse of the Billy Goat continues. Leon Durham, a good ball player. Unfortunately, he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. George Brett, Jim Catfish Hunter, bottom of the 8th. 1-2 blank. Let's see what happens off Brett. 5-3, and that's going to be popped up to the shortstop, Stanley. Calls for it. Makes the catch. And now it's John Mayberry, 3-4. That's a potential strikeout. That's a 6. We roll an 8, so we're going to roll off Mayberry. And that's a 2-5, and that's going to be a fly to right. Under it is Otto Velez. Otto Velez ends up on the Toronto Blue Jays in 1977 in the expansion draft. And now it's Hal McRae. Hal McRae is 1 for 3 on the day. That's a 4-2. That's a potential strikeout. We roll a 20, so it won't be. And this is off McRae's card, and that's going to be a star line fly to left. And that's 3 up, 3 down for Jim Catfish Hunter. Ray Sadecki. Ray Sadecki is 1-2. He's still got a couple more. He'll be tired for 1 batter in this inning. He'll be tired for Lou Piniella. All right. Thurman Munson, top of the 9th. And that's a 3-6. That's a potential strikeout against a lefty. We're looking at a 2. We roll a 1. Strike 3. Munson down swinging. Holy smokes. Not easy to get Munson. But he got him. It's 1-3, and that's going to be a lefty. It's going to be a potential K. We're looking at a 12, and that's an 11 minus bunch, so it's not a strikeout. So we're going to roll off Chambliss, and it's a 4-4 off Chambliss, and that's going to be a ground ball second base. White to his right flips to Mayberry, and that's 2 down. And now it's Lou Piniella, and he's fatigued here, 6-5. That's a blank. 5-5, and that's going to be a range play to right field against a lefty. That's a 12, and that's going to drop in there, and that's going to bounce away from the right fielder. 5-5 bounces away from Cowens, and Piniella hustling around second. He's trying for third, the relay, and he is safe with a triple. 2-out triple for sweet Lou Piniella. And that is Lou Piniella's 4th hit of the game. He's a home run shy of the cycle. He's got a single, double, and triple, and another single. So he's got 2 singles, a double, and a triple. And now it's Otto Velez. Here's the pitch from Ray Sadecki, who's tired. 3-6. 3-6, that's a potential strikeout against a lefty. 19 minus 4 is a 15. We roll a 19. We're going to roll off Velez. And that's a 6-3, and that's going to be a ball that's pulled down the line into the left field corner. After it is Wolford. That's going to bounce to the wall, RBI, and into second base with a 2-out double is Otto Velez. 2-out RBI double for Otto Velez, and that is Velez's 1, 2, 3, 3rd hit of the game. He's got 2 doubles, a single, a walk. So he's been on base 4 of the 5 times. This is the Yankees' 19th hit. About time. Craig Nettles, 2 outs. Runner on second. 6-4, and that's a range play off Nettles' card. That's a 6-6. That's going to be a range play center field. He's a 1, so almost anything is a hit. We roll another 1, and that's going to be a double for Nettles. And that's going to be an RBI double for Greg Nettles, and this is Greg Nettles' 3rd hit of the game. And that's about it for going to bring in Mark Littell, I guess, to finish it up. It's too ugly at this point. I can't let it go on. It's just too ugly. Mark Littell. Score right now is 8-2 Yankees. But, I mean, they batted the heck out of the ball. Willie Randolph. Look at all these dice I got on the – holy smokes. All right. Willie Randolph against Mark Littell. Craig Nettles takes the lead off second. It's 8-2 Yanks. 2 outs. Top of the 9th. And that's going to be a 4-2. That's going to be a potential K. And we're looking at a 13. We're looking at a 13. We roll an 18. So Randolph's going to get a chance to go off his card. That's a 3-5, and that's going to be a star line out, ground ball, second base. And White throws him out, and that retires the side. Wow. Okay. So that was fun. And he's got a bunch of hits. I don't enjoy that often. I usually struggle to get hits. But today, it hasn't been the case. Jim Catfish Hunter is going to try to go the complete game. Jim Catfish Hunter pitched 298 innings in 298 innings. Yeah, believe it or not, good old days of baseball. 2-5, and that's going to be a potential error. Let's see what that becomes. 4-1. 4-1 star 6, and that's going to be a potential error center field. We rolled a 3, and that looks like it could be an error. That's Rivers out there, and he's a 3, so it's going to be a 1 or a 2 base error. Let's see. Error failed check. Right here, right field, center field. On a fly, drops fly. So plus or question mark. I can't see what that is. It's so dark. Fly ball dropped, error check. 1d20 roll is odd. What? Okay, wait a second. Drop fly. The 1d20 roll is odd. Yes, it is an odd roll. I don't think do we roll again? 12. It's not odd. So does that mean is odd? Roll 1d6 verse. So it's not odd. Oh, fly ball dropped if it's an odd roll. It wasn't an odd roll. Because I think they want you to roll again. I don't think they want you to use the same roll. So that basically catches the ball, which makes sense. I mean, that's unusual. So I can understand them having like a second, confirming die roll on another probability or something. All right, Frank White. And that's going to be a 6-2. That's a potential throwing error this time, 3-1. And that's going to be a single through second. So base hit for Frank White. Freddie Patek, 1-6, and that's going to be a potential K against a righty. That's a 6. We roll a 1. Strike 3 against Patek. And there's 2 outs. We're 1 out away from winning this ball game by a score of 8-2. Let's see what happens. Buck Martinez going to bring in a pinch hitter. Let's bring in a little pinch hitter here to make it interesting. Let's see who they were using. Solita. Tony Solita. You say Solita, I say Solita. Tony Solita is coming in here. And let's see, I think he's a switch hitter. I think if he's on this team, if I have his card here. I have his card available in the set. I just don't know that it's on this team. He may have been traded at some point. I know he played with California for a while. He may have been traded this season. Okay, I don't have him. So I'm going to go to Tom Poquette. I'm going to go to Cookie Rojas. He's another guy, another couple of guys that they were using to pinch hit. Cookie Rojas. There he is. Cookie Rojas. Tom Poquette is a lefty. Let's bring in Tom Poquette to pinch hit for Buck Martinez. It's about a buck. So that's a good name for him. Pinch hitter. Poquette. All right, here goes. Jim Catfish Hunter, Tom Poquette. Hunter is up to, wait, let's see where he's at. Oh, he's up. He's fatigued. He was fatigued in his strikeout. He became fatigued. So he's going to go one more batter. 3-5, and that's ballpark. And that's going to be a 2-1. That's a ground ball to third. Nettles up with it, fires to first, and the ball game is over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. Jim Catfish Hunter looking unstoppable. Yankees with 20 hits. Holy moly. Prince end game. Hunter with the victory. Splittorff with the loss. The game was played Friday, the 30th. Let's double check. Yep, April 30th. Start time was 7:37. There was 11,368 at Royal Stadium. Game duration 2 hours and 11 minutes on turf. Man, the good old days. Holy smokes. I would have been home watching that game. Would have been beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's take a look at the box score here real quick. Let me take a picture of it. Hunter improves his record to 3-2 and his ERA to 1.64. He allowed only 1 earned run. Let me see, and let me make sure that's 1 earned run here, because in that inning, Let's see. So it was a single, then there was an error, then there was an out, so that would have been 2 outs, then there was a double. Okay, that would have scored the runner on first. Okay. Yeah. All right. So he gives up 1 earned run in this game. And let's go back to the box score here. 3-2. I didn't bring my phone, so I can't take a picture of it. I can save it onto my save as my desktop. Save it on my desktop. Yanks KC. All right. Let's see. Let's look at the Yanks. Yanks had 5 players with at least 3 hits, and 1, Piniella, with 4 hits. Pinella's batting .436 on the season, and White is batting .420. Rivers improved his average to .286. Munson's batting .286. Chambliss is still struggling, hovering around .200. Piniella, I mentioned him. Velez has raised his average to .385. Nettles has improved his average with 3 hits to .180. Randolph batting .220 with 2 hits. And then Fred Stanley batting .267. So looks good, guys. It's a great game, inside pitch. Loving it. Want to get really good and fast at it. So the line scores: New York at KC. New York with 8 runs, 20 hits, 2 errors. All right, and let's see here. And then it's going to be the Royals with 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. And that's it for tonight's stream of a inside pitch New York Yankees 1976. It was a great game overall. Yankees really came out swinging the bats. They did make 2 errors, one in 1 inning in that 5th inning. Let's bring that down a little bit and say goodbye with the Yankee song. That was that 1/5 inning where Nettles made an error and then Chambliss made another error to keep the inning going. And but they really stroked the ball today. Paul Splittorff, and this is against five Kansas City Royal pitchers. So we got 2 more games against the Kansas City Royals, and that's going to be it for tonight. That's for sure. But I hope you enjoyed our broadcast. And remember, this is your alternative tabletop streaming baseball station that includes reviews and talk and products and game design and tabletop strategies, anecdotes, player profiles, history, news, tutorials, books, tops, baseball cards, and more. And my celebration tonight was I received the 1970 Tom Seaver card, which I bought a set of Mets and it was missing this card, so I had to buy it separately. So that's going to be great to have that with the rest of the Mets for 1969. I couldn't get the 1969 Mets. Those are like impossible to come by. You have to pay an arm and a leg, but I was able to get the 1970, the next closest thing, the 1970 set, which is basically the same players. Back then, you didn't do a lot of moving around in baseball. They had you locked in with contracts, and they'd pay you pennies, and you couldn't negotiate with anybody else. It was really unfair to the players, to be honest with you. And you don't want that situation either. You don't want the owners making all the money and the players just, barely surviving. I know that Pete Rose in the 60s, I read his book, and he had to work in a used car dealership. So you don't want that either. I mean, these guys are extremely talented. They give their life to this. They love it. And a lot of times they don't have really, really long careers. So the little they make, they better hold on to, because if they live 70 years old, they're going to have that money. So that's it. So this is CP Cards and Dice. It's 10:15. Do you know where your cards are? All right. This is CP Cards and Dice, and have a great night, guys. Take care.